The Ghost of Manhattan, the spy who saved a nation. History remembers the generals, the flags, and the loud thunder of cannons, but the United States of America was not won on a battlefield alone. It was won in the dark corners of New York taverns, through invisible ink, and by a quiet dry goods merchant who never fired a single shot. This is the true story of Samuel Culper, a man who didn't exist, yet changed the world forever. The year was 1778. New York City was a forest of British masts and redcoats. To the world, the American Revolution was a dying flame. General George Washington was retreating, his army starving, and his intelligence was a disaster. He needed eyes where he had none, inside the heart of the British command. Enter Benjamin Talmadge, a young, ambitious officer with a radical idea. He wouldn't send professional soldiers to spy. He would recruit his childhood friends from Setauket, Long Island. They were farmers, tavern keepers, and housewives. They were the Culper Ring. The man in the shadows, Abraham Woodhull. Abraham Woodhull was a nervous man. He lived in constant fear of the British soldiers stationed in his backyard. But under the code name Samuel Culper, he became the backbone of the operation. He would walk the streets of Manhattan, observing troop movements and naval shifts, then travel back to Long Island to pass the word. But how do you send a letter through enemy lines without being hanged? The science of silence. The Culper Ring didn't just use whispers, they used cutting-edge technology of the 18th century. Sir James Jay, brother of John Jay, had developed a sympathetic stain, an invisible ink that required a specific chemical reagent to reveal. Historical fact, Washington insisted on using this ink because even if the British intercepted the letters, they would appear as blank sheets of paper or mundane business notes about gallons of rum and bundles of hay. Under the clothesline, Anna Smith Strong. Perhaps the most cinematic part of this true story is Anna Smith Strong, living on the coast. She developed a genius signaling system with her laundry. If she hung a black petticoat, it meant a messenger had arrived. The number of handkerchiefs hung next to it would tell the secret agent which hidden cove the boat was waiting in. Under the very noses of British patrols, a simple housewife was directing the flow of international espionage. The turning point. Saving the French fleet. The climax of their story came in 1780. The British planned a surprise attack on the arriving French fleet in Rhode Island. If the French were destroyed, the revolution was over. Through a network of frantic rides and midnight rowing, the Culper Ring got the word to Washington in record time. Washington staged a brilliant feint, making the British believe he was attacking New York City. The British pulled back their fleet to defend the city, the French landed safely, and the tide of the war turned toward the final victory at Yorktown.